So with that, they hand it to Shohei Ohtani today, who begins his two-way journey in the majors, of course, with the Angels, did so with an ERA of 3.01, nearly 500 innings. Remember, he was fourth in Cy Young voting during the 2022 season. That was his best year on the mound. But now with the Dodgers, he's back on the mound, but just starting to ramp up. Already showing flashes of greatness, throwing the fastest pitch of his career at his last outing against Kansas City, nearly 102. And with that, we say hello to our buddy Ken Rosenthal, who, of course, at Dodger Stadium for today's matchup against the Astros. Ken, so many layers that come with being a two-way player, as we've seen with Shohei. How much complexity are the Dodgers dealing with right now as they try to ramp up Ohtani's workload as the season progresses here?
Kevin, you said it. The complexities are even greater with Ohtani coming off major elbow surgery and building up as a starter during the season. On Thursday, coming off a game of nearly 3 hours, Ohtani was sluggish in his bullpen session. Took him a little while to get going. With a normal starting pitcher, teams anticipate fatigue based on the pitcher's workload. With Ohtani, any number of variables come into play. Schedule, travel, how much he is exerting himself offensively, how much he's getting nicked up during games. He might throw 30 pitches in a bullpen session. He might throw only 10 or 12. The key, according to Dodgers pitching coach Mark Pryor, is that Ohtani is brilliant at communicating how he feels and what he needs. Kevin?
Ken, we appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you on the broadcast as well for the Ohtani birthday start. All right, so interesting there, just listening to Ken's report. And I think you look at this. Now, this is a guy coming off a second Tommy John surgery, and I know it's early. He's only had 3 starts and thrown a couple innings. But he's throwing the hardest he's ever thrown, his average fastball. But two things. Interesting listening to Ken on how different his bullpens can be. And I'm curious now for you as a pitcher, what are the Dodgers really trying to do? Where are they trying to get to by the time the regular season ends with him?
The bottom line is you're trying to build him up anywhere from 75 pitches to 90 pitches. That's around 4 to 5 innings. So if you need him to start a ball game, you can. Now, the intriguing part is the velocity is super high. He's feeling very good about his throw. His mechanics are elite. The secondary stuff is starting to play. But now you're starting to see the velocity hold anywhere from 98 to 101 miles an hour. That's truly impressive. Now, the second part about it is him still being a factor offensively because they need him to be excellent offensively. But so sometimes you have to taper some of the bullpens. When they talked about Ken talking about the workload, maybe he throws 20 pitches, maybe he throws 30 pitches. They have to be able to communicate with each other and trust that he's going to be successful and really, the bottom line, stay healthy for the course of the season.
That's wild. Would a 12, I know he's a unicorn. Would a 12-pitch bullpen between starts be enough for you?
I can walk people throwing 12 pitches right there. But again, that's why he's a unicorn. He's strong. As long as he's able to stay healthy and be able to command the strike zone, hey, that's why he's one of the best players. And after a while, he might be one of the best players in history.
Yeah, look forward to watching him today. It should be a fun one. A couple great games across the country. And the pitching matchup's so good. It's Ohtani for the Dodgers and Framber Valdez, who has been sensational for the Astros, who, by the way, are in first place again by 7 games over the Mariners. And Valdez is a big reason why. Look at his last 10 starts. He has been dominant for Houston. Meanwhile, the Guardians go in the other direction. They've lost 8 in a row. They're looking for some kind of spark. Jose Ramirez, we know what he brings to the table, but they're taking on the first-place Tigers. It's baseball night in America on Fox.
On this Independence Day weekend in Los Angeles, we got a beautiful day for baseball, and we've got 2 of the top teams in the sport, the Dodgers and the Astros, going head-to-head. These 2 teams are around 500, tied for first place a little more than a month ago, but both have taken off. Houston opening up a 7-game lead in the American League West, the Dodgers up to 8 games ahead in the National League. We welcome you inside. Hope you're having a great weekend. The Hall of Famer John Smoltz, I'm Joe Davis. I think everybody thought the Dodgers would be here, but the Astros, I mean, they have every excuse not to be at the top of the division, yet here they are like it seems like they always are.
It's amazing. They've lost some star power, but they haven't lost their blueprint. Their blueprint, timely hitting, great pitching, good defense, and that's why they're in first place. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a great story, and the Houston Astros are here to stay.
We don't often talk starting pitching right off at the top because we've got a whole game to do that, but let's not bury the lead with this one. Framber Valdez goes for the Astros, and they just announced him, and you hear the roar back there, Shohei Ohtani, who has resumed his 2-way duties.
We probably don't talk about it because I get too excited, right? And Shohei Ohtani is somebody to get excited about, not only at the plate, but really on the mound. And yes, he's rehabbing, so it's only 2 innings, but he's been outstanding. This is one of the greatest athletes of all time, and he's going to ramp up to get about 5 innings in September. The sky's the limit for him, and we're going to enjoy 2 innings of it.
And how about Framber Valdez, who's been maybe the best pitcher in baseball the last month and a half?
He absolutely has. He's fun to watch from the left side, strike thrower, ground ball. Look what the team has done in his starts. And oh, by the way, in the last 10 games, they've been undefeated, and so has he. This staff with him and Hunter Brown is why the Astros are such a tough team to pitch against, play against. It's why they're in first place.
These have been the 2 most dominant franchises in baseball the last decade, and they're at it again. 2 of the hottest teams going head-to-head with a fitting pitching matchup. Ohtani and Valdez. 4th of July weekend. First place in the American League West belongs to the Astros. Over in the National League, it's the Dodgers. Head-to-head on a perfect night in Los Angeles. Coming up on Fox. Yeah, the 2023 World Series is the only one where one of these teams hasn't been there. You had the Dodgers face off with the Red Sox the year after. They went head-to-head with the Astros. Houston back in there in 19 against the Nationals. Won it again in 22 against the Phillies. And the Dodgers, of course, over the Yankees last year to get their 2nd World Championship in this stretch. So here he is, Shohei Ohtani, ready to make his 4th start this season and his 4th start in a couple years here in his 2nd season with the Dodgers, which began with his first games in his home country as a big leaguer. Dodgers opened this season with the Cubs back in mid-March in Tokyo, swept that 2-game series. He, of course, delivered with a home run. Biggest thing that happened to him this year might have come off of the field as he became a father. On the field, he's resumed his 2-way duties. By the way, he still hit 30 home runs to lead the National League, and so he's got a lot to celebrate here on his 31st birthday. I'm glad he invited us to his party. This is going to be good, huh?
It's going to be great, and it's going to be the best 2 innings that we get to watch, and eventually over time it'll be 5 innings, I hope. But he's doing something that's so difficult to do, rehab in the big leagues while still playing an elite-level hitter. But his fastball combination with the breaking ball and splitter and slider, there's nothing he can't do, and he's been a strike thrower since coming back.
And more each game. We mentioned this is his 4th start. 1 run over the 4 innings. His last time he went 2 innings for the first time against Kansas City, and that strike percentage has gone from 57 in his first game to 67 in his second game to 75% against the Royals. Like you were mentioning, you're not supposed to be able to do it like this quickly.
You're really not, and he's definitely got the weapons.
7 different pitches that he'll deploy against this Astros lineup that exploded in yesterday's game and handed the Dodgers their worst blowout loss in Dodger Stadium history. 18-1 in the first game with Paredes, Smith, and Jose Altuve, who hit 2 home runs last night. Christian Walker has homered in 6 consecutive games here at Dodger Stadium. He's followed by Caratini and Diaz, and then Hummel, Dubon, and Zach Short gets his first start at shortstop as they wait for Jeremy Pena to make his way back from the rib injury. Ohtani and the Dodgers have won 18 of their last 24 games. Major League best 56-33. Astros 27-10 since late May, the best record in baseball in that stretch. And look out right away, Isaac Paredes, who leads off, homered on the first pitch of the game yesterday. This time he takes ball 1.
He's a guy along with Walker, who pretty much are the 2 that take the most pitches per at bat for the Astros.
This guy here in Paredes has seen more pitches than anybody in baseball the last couple of years. Kind of reestablishing the identity that the Astros prided themselves on with all those pennant wins, division wins. Kind of got away from last year. But a guy that embodies that. Hooked into left field. Kike Hernandez comes on, plays it on a bounce, and a leadoff hit for Paredes.
And typically what happens because he's doing it in such a short time frame, the one thing I've noticed, he's not trying to do everything in 2 innings. You know, the tendency for me, if I was in this situation, I'd want every pitch working. I'd probably overpitch and overthrow situations that don't make sense. He seems to have a calm heartbeat. He knows what he wants to accomplish, even though it's 2 innings. The Astros as a team do a great job against fastballs.
Broken bat, bouncer up the middle for Tommy Edman. Steps on the bag, over to first for
2. Just to give you an insight right here how good this pitch is. He cracks the bat, He goes up the middle and is able to, because he can't get out of the box that quick as a right-hander, able to turn to 2. I don't think.
Yeah, and we were talking with Joe Espada before the game. He said it's just the latest example of this guy saying, "This is my team," like he so often steps up and does. Rolls over to short and finishes off a 10-pitch first inning for Ohtani. Framber Valdez when you come back. Shohei in his 5th season as a two-way player. Fires a 3-1 pitch. Gets a fastball by him. Last 3 years that he was a full-time two-way guy, 2021 through 2023, only Aaron Judge had a better OPS at the plate, and only 2 starting pitchers had a better ERA on the mound than Ohtani's 284. He doesn't just do both, he stars at both. Here's his payoff.
A lot of people thought I was crazy a couple years ago making a comment to just kind of give the ultimate compliment I can, knowing it would never happen. If all he did was pitch and didn't hit, he'd be the best pitcher in baseball. And people looked at me like I might have lost my mind. But the reality is we're never going to see it, so it can't be proved. But my point is he's so talented on the mound, we're only getting a glimpse of what he can do because he's so good at the plate. And so his ability, whether it's 3-0, come back and get a strikeout, he would be the best pitcher on the Dodgers if he was healthy for the postseason because of his heartbeat, because of his athleticism. I'm just telling you, we haven't seen the full greatness 3 years of two-way playing.
Oh no. Caratini checks his swing and the count goes full, so that would put him halfway through the 10-year deal.
Yeah.
He's already gotten him the 1 championship.
Exactly. And I just don't think people understand how taxing and how hard it is to come back from an injury, but to do what he's doing.
Back-to-back strikeouts, a video game pitch right there to get Caratini.
I mean, he just, again, is in the right place at the right time mechanically, throws all the pitches that you want for all the alleys to give a hitter a nightmare.
They've had to use 16 different starters. Yeah, and then like you talked about, the trickle down on that with the shorter starts you're getting is the bullpen load being up there in terms of innings pitched. They've been able to disperse that across many arms in the bullpen. And still, something they'd like to smooth out as this year continues. Another 1-2 to Diaz. He got him swinging and he strikes out the side. Happy birthday, Shohei Ohtani.